Shiur in Gmorah, Maseches Brachos, Perek Tfilas Ashachar, Daf Chovov Amud Beis, about 10 lines, about 12 lines from the top, starting with the word Itma. The Gemara is going to discuss the source from where did we get davening 3 times a day, davening Shmonesra 3 times a day. The Gemara is going to bring 2 opinions. Itma, we learned an argument of 2 Amayroim. Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina Omar, Tfilos, the davening, or Ovois Tiknum, was established by the Ovois Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, as it's going to explain. Rabbi Shua ben Levi Omar, Tfilos keneged Tmidim Tiknum. The Tfilos was established by Anshe Knesset Agdoila in the second Beis HaMikdash, correspond to the Korbanos. The Gemara is going to explain. Now the Gemara brings a proof to each opinion. Tanya Kavosei the Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina, and Tanya Kavosei the Rabbi Shua ben Levi. We learn a brayse supporting the opinion of Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina, and we learn a brayse supporting the opinion of Rabbi Shua ben Levi. And the Gemara quotes the first one. Tanya Kavosei the Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina. Avraham tikein tefillah shachis. Avraham established shachis. Shenemar. How do we know that he did it? Like it says in the pasuk. Now this pasuk talks about Avraham Avinu getting up early in the morning and staying in the same place where he stood the day before, where he was pleading and davening to Hashem regarding the people of Zdoim not to kill them all. So it says, Shenemar, Vayashkem Avraham b'boiker. Avraham got up early in the morning, and where did he go? El Hamokim asher omad shom, to the place where he stood over there the day before. Now, the word Omad represents something. Ve'ein Amidah, the word Amidah only stands for Elot Filah, only stands for davening. How do we know that whenever it says Vayamoid, it refers to davening? So we're bringing another pasuk, Shenemar. Vayamoid Pinchas vayefalel. Pinchas stood and he davened. So we see that whenever you say the word standing, it's regarding davening. So it comes out that Avraham Avinu stood and davened, and when did he daven? He davened shachris because it says in the morning. Yitzchak tiken tfilas mincha. Yitzchak established mincha. Shenemar, vayetze Yitzchak losuach basode lifnois orev. Yitzchak went to daven in the field before the evening. So that obviously, which davening did he daven? Obviously, it was mincha. How do we know that the word losuach means to daven? Ve'in sicha elot filo. The word sicha only represents davening. Shenemar, like it says in Tehillim, filo leoni kiyatif. Davening to a poor person when he wraps himself with his stores. What does he do? Lifnei Hashem ishpech sicha. In front of Hashem, he pours his davening. So we see that siach means davening. So Yitzchak established mincha. Yaakov tiken tefillah sarvis. Yaakov established ma'ariv. How do we know? Shenemar. Va'ifga b'mokim va'yolem shom. And he met the place and he stayed overnight. Now, what happened over there? So the Gemara tells us a story that Yaakov Avinu, when he was running away from Esav, he went all the way to Choron. When he came to Choron, he says, wait a second, I passed through the place where my parents davened, the place of the Beis HaMikdash, and I didn't daven. So he had in mind to go back. So the Rebbe made a nes, and he was all the way there in 2 seconds. Now, then he daven. That's the meaning of the pasuk. Va'ifga b'mokim va'yolem shon. He daven over there, and then after he daven, he wanted to go back to Choron. But Hashem says, I got such a beautiful guest like Yaakov Avinu coming to visit me, and he's not going to stay overnight. So Hashem brought down the sun 1 second, so Yaakov Avinu had to stay overnight. Let's continue. Ve'ein pegio, and the word pegio represents elot filo. Shenemar, it says in Yirmiyahu Hanavi, ve'ato al tispalel ba'ad ha'om hazeh. He says, do not daven for these people. Yirmiyahu told Hashem, don't daven for these people. Ve'al tiso ba'ad omrino v'tfilo. And do not beg me any singing or davening. Ve'al tifga bin, don't beg me. So we see that the word tifga is corresponding with the word tefillah in the same place. So when it says va'ifga b'mokim, what did Yaakov Avinu do? He davened. So that's we see over here clearly that Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov established shachis, mincha, and ma'ariv. Now we're going to have a brayse supporting the opinion of Rabbi Shua ben Levi that it's called respond the korbanos. The brayse starts. We're asking a question. Why do we say that we daven shachis? till midday, Sharei, because Tomid Shel Shachar Yikorev Oilach Ad Chatzois was brought, continuously brought till midday. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees, because Rabbi Yehuda says that you can only daven you can only daven till the 4th hour of the day. Ad Arba Shois, till the 4th hour of the day. Why? Sharei Tomid Shel Shachar Korev Oilach Ad Arba Shois, because the Korban Tomid of the morning is continuously brought only till the 4th hour of the day. So we see either way that the Shachis is correspond to Korban Tomid of the morning. Mipnei Ma'amu Tfilas Mincha Derev. Why Chachomim says that you daven Mincha till the evening? Sharei Tomid Shel Ben Arbaim, because the Korban Tomid of the afternoon, Korev Oilach Ad Erev, is continuously brought till the evening. So Minchas correspond to that. But Rabbi Yehuda Omer, at Plag Mincha, you can only daven till a half of Mincha time, which we already explained it in the previous Shiur in the Mishnah. What is Plag Mincha? Which means a half of Mincha Ketana time. Mincha Ketana starts 2.5 hours before Shkia, and a half of that time is an hour and 15 minutes. So you can daven Mincha till an hour and 15 minutes before Shkia. Why is that? Because the Korban Tomid of the afternoon was brought only till that time, till Plag Mincha. Now we're going to Ma'ariv. And why did Chachomim say Tfilas Erev En Lakeva that Mal Davening Ma'ariv doesn't have a set time? You can do it the whole night. Because the bones of the korban, of the korbanos, and the fat of the korbanos that did not, that did not consume, did not burn with the fire from the evening before, you're allowed to continuously be burned on the Mizbech the whole night. So that Ma'ariv is correspond to the Ivorim Ubdorim that was being brought the whole night. Now we're going to Musaf. Why did we say that Tfilas Musaf you can daven the whole day? Korban Musaf you can bring it the whole day according to the opinion of Chachomim. Rabbi Yehuda disagrees regarding Korban Musaf. Ad Sheva Shois you can only bring Korban Musaf till the 7th hour of the day, and you can the same thing. You can only daven Musaf till the 7th hour of the day. Sharei Korban Musaf Korev Oilach Ad Sheva Shois, because Korban Musaf you can only bring till the 7th hour of the day. Now, before we're going to read continuously, we're going to explain. There is time of Mincha Ketano and there is time for Mincha Gedoylo. Mincha Gedoylo means that there is still a lot of time throughout the day. We have the whole afternoon. And Mincha Ketano, we have less time in the rest of the afternoon. We only have 2.5 hours to daven Mincha Ketano. So the Mishnah clarifies, the Brisa clarifies, Ve'ezo Mincha Ketano, Mincha Gedoylo. What is the time, the earliest time that you allow to daven Mincha Gedoylo, and the same thing, when is the time you're allowed to bring Korban Tomid of the afternoon? A half an hour after midday. That means from 6.5 hours of the day and on. When is the time to bring the Korban Tomid afternoon? And the same thing regarding Mincha Ketano. From 9.5 hours and of the day and on. So that's, we have to finish the Brisa. Now the Gemara is going to ask a question. The question is, Rabbi Yehuda says that you're allowed to daven Mincha till Plag Mincha, but he didn't say which Mincha. There is 2 Minchas. There is Mincha Gedoylo and Mincha Ketano. Mincha Gedoylo you're allowed to daven from 6.5 hours of the day. That means you have 5.5 hours. So a half of that 5.5 hours is how much? 2 hours and 45 minutes. Mincha Ketano is 2.5 hours of the day. So therefore, a half of that is only an hour and 15 minutes. So which Plag Mincha did he say? So let's read inside. Ibai Lehu, the Yeshiva Bochim ask a Shaile. Rabbi Yehuda, when he says you can only daven till Plag Mincha, till a half of Mincha time. Plag Mincha Koma is that a half of the first Mincha of Mincha Gedoylo, okay? And a half of it is 2 hours and 45 minutes. Or Plag Mincha Choyno Koma, he meant Plag Mincha, the little Mincha, the last Mincha, Mincha Ktano, which is only an hour and 15 minutes. And for the Eleke Gemara, Toshma Kamenir, the Tani will learn in a Brisa, Rabbi Yehuda, Plag Mincha Achoyno. When it says that you daven until Plag Mincha, it's the last Mincha. And now he clarifies, which is, the time is 11 hours minus a quarter from the beginning of the day. So it exactly comes out to an hour and 15 minutes before Shkia. Now, it comes out that we have two brises. One supporting Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, which is Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi brought that Chachomim established davening correspond to the Korbanos, which is very strong because it's an establishment of Chachomim. And one brise that who is Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina, who established davening is the Ovis. But from the Ovis establishing davening, it's not a proof that we have to daven. Maybe the Ovis only daven for themselves. They don't mean they made it an establishment for all of us. So because of that, the Gemara is going to ask a kashe on one opinion. Should we say that the braise, that the davening is corresponding to korbanos, is a kashe? Tiyufta is a kashe. Rabbi Yosef Rab Chanina, that he says that it was done by the Ovois because it's against his opinion, and Rabbi Yosef Rab Chanina cannot disagree with a braise. It's a higher source. And for the Eliki Gemara, Rabbi Yosef Rab Chanina, Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina would have answered. He's not here to answer. That's why it says, if he would have been here, he would say, Omar Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina. But because he was not here, he says, Omar Loch, we, the Yeshiva Bachim, answer for him. Lo'olam Eimeloch, the truth I will tell you. The word Lo'olam is now right now being translated. The word the truth I will tell you. Tfilos Ovos Tiknum. The Tfilos were done by the Ovos. They established it first. Now, what did Chachamim do? When they established the davening of Shmonesre, they connected later on. They connected the two takones of the Ovis and connected to Korbanos. Now it brings a proof that it's so. That if you're not going to say so, that what? That the Ovis established davening, but Chachamim made it more official, connected to Korbanos. Tfilas Musaf Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina man takno. Who established that Tfilah Musaf? Well, the Ovis didn't do it. We only have 3 Ovis, and we have an extra davening which is Musaf. Who did it? So obviously you have to say that Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina agrees that Ovis tiknum, but Chachamim established it, put it together. They took it to us. Hello, you have to say Tfilah is Ovis tiknum. The Ovis established the davening, and when Chachamim connect the davening, they connect it to the korbanos, and that's the end of the shiur. Thank you so much.